Good morning. Had to make sure that everything was going out to the streaming right. Oh, yeah, are we still? If it's going out, are you going out to YouTube? Yeah, we're going out to YouTube. I don't know how the latency is. Let's see. Does it? It looks a little bad. Our latency is a little tad bad this morning. Don't know why. Strange things happen, but we'll soldier through them. Uh, Man, what a good trivia night last night. What a good trivia night. Introduced a new category. It was silent movies. So it was chunks of movies that from films that had hacker themes or hacker portions to them, and they had something to do with hacking, and we turned the sound off. No sound. Had to figure out what it was without the sound, and I think that was kind of fun. That was kind of fun. I've got a couple ideas for some new things for next trivia night, which I think Alex, I don't know if you're on or not, but that the 7th, I think, of July was the good idea. I think it was a Tuesday, the 7th of July. I think that's a good day to do the next trivia night. So the 7th of July, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. 7 p.m. Eastern time. Get on it. What great time! I got an idea. I was thinking last night. Here's one for you guys that are watching in the morning that no one else is going to know. I was thinking about taking doing a movie clip again, and putting a different soundtrack on it. So, for example, it would be a movie clip from War Games, but the soundtrack would be from something like Hackers, and then you had to identify both the film, the video, and the audio to get the question right. So I think that'd be a challenge. That'd be a challenge. I think that'd be a challenge both putting together, but I think it would be a challenge playing. I think that'd be awesome, an awesome run. I don't know. Good morning, Paul. I'm not sure why the comments are not coming through. Let me see. Strange. This restreaming, it isn't all it's cracked up to be. So right now, we're using a service called Restream.io, and what it allows us to do is send a live stream to YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and other stuff if you wanted to, all at the same time. So we'll see if it's worth it. I'm trying to watch the stream over here to see. There's YouTube. I see that Paul is saying stuff. There we go. Now it's coming through. It's weird. We're gonna have to mess around with this thing. I'm seeing Paul's comments now. Select. Well, it's still gonna be multiple choice. So we're gonna have, if it's from War Games with the hacker soundtrack, then that'll be the answer will be War Games and Hackers, and then obviously one of the other ones will be Hackers and War Games and something like that. It'll have to. Yeah, we won't be. Actually, yeah, we could multi-select. I think. Yeah, I think we're gonna. There is a way to do multiple answers. So maybe we'll just have 4 or 5, or we can even do 6 answers, and you just pick the 2 that are correct and get it right. Yeah, Paul, you're a problem solver this morning. I like that you're solving problems. Great point. So it was fun. Drank some beers, had some good comments, had some folks from RMF Lifeboat show up, had some folks from all over the country show up. It was a good, just old-fashioned good time, answering questions and getting to it. So let's look at what is going on in the news today. Got to put up with me rearranging stuff and looking over there, and that's just the way things got to be for a bit. So until I get better at managing all this, Google is in the news. Google's in the news. A lot of stuff was announced this week. Apple at their worldwide conference, they announced all the new stuff that's coming out with the new Apple OSs across all their platforms, from the watch to the iPad to the phone to the desktop MacBook kind of stuff. That's all focused on privacy. Everything's getting so consumer-driven applications are so focused on privacy now. That's where everything's going. So Google, as you may know, Google essentially keeps your data forever. Once you do something in Google, it's there forever. So what they've decided they're going to put an 18-month auto delete feature in. So after 18 months, data will be deleted, and it'll be gone. It's kind of an auto delete at 18 months. It's always been an option. You could go in and set this. Now you could even set it for 3 months. You can't set it any lower than 3 months, but you can set it for either 3 months or 18 months. Now with new accounts, if you set up a new Google account, it'll automatically set up with this 18-month deletion of data. It's important to know that if you have a current Google account, auto delete's not going to be enabled for you. So if you want to turn this auto delete feature on, you got to go into settings. You got to set it up. The article that's in the show notes below from Wired will walk you through all of it. It's got a link to show you how to set up this auto delete. Do know that it's not going to auto delete things from email, like your Gmail, pictures, files if you're using Gmail store or Drive storage. That stuff is not part of this 18-month delete. It's like your browsing history and your if you're using Google Maps, that driving history, that maps history, that kind of stuff is going to go away, either at 18 months or at 3 months. Obviously, being a privacy advocate, I'm going to say, set your stuff up to be deleted at 3 months, unless there's just a real reason you need to have that history in there longer than that. You can't do it any shorter than that, but at least it's a step forward for Google to do this for new accounts. For new accounts, it'll be set up automatically to delete stuff at 18 months. The other thing you can do now, not now, the other thing you'll be able to do probably by the fall, is if you're on your mobile device and you want to go incognito, if you do a long hold on your picture, it'll automatically launch you into incognito mode. And the important thing, and we probably already know this, probably preaching to the crowd on this one, but incognito mode just keeps your information from your own browser history. Google's going to still track that information. They don't tie it to your account. Your ISP is still going to have the information. If you're on a corporate network, that stuff's still going to be logged. It's still going to be captured. So know that if you're incognito, that's just keeping that information out of your local cache, right? So it's not doing anything but that. It's not you're still leaving a pretty big footprint on the internet. Google, your employer, your home network, even anywhere you've got monitoring put in place, it's still going to be monitored. It's still going to be tracked to your account. It's just not going to go in your local browser history. And we all know, if you're going to find a birthday present for your wife or something, you want to make sure that history is not found when she looks at your phone or something like that. Good way to use it. But just know it's not really protecting your privacy in kind of any way, shape, or form. But good on you, Google. Way to move forward. Made it, making it. It'd be nice if they added it to all the accounts, but they say they don't want people with existing legacy accounts to have this switched on when they don't know about it, right? I'm trying to make sure we're not getting comments that aren't coming through. Yeah, okay, good. Doesn't look like we are. Okay. Sorry guys, we're growing pains with new software. I think you all know how this is. Windows there's a new type of malware. And it's kind of a rootkit. It's a blended attack. Gloop Tiba is the malware that's out there, and it's infecting Windows systems. And the researchers that are tracking this thing think that it's going to be offered to cyber criminals as a means of distributing malware. And by the way, our coffees in Salt Lake City are illy coffee. And man, do we need that this morning. But essentially what this is a campaign to infect as many computers as possible as quickly as possible and stay there for as long as possible. So it's not like ransomware where you're automatically going to know it's there because all your data is encrypted and it's locked up and they're wanting money. These folks, what they want to do is they want to have a huge botnet they can rent out for money, and then use that as a way to obviously make money. It's being bundled in pirated software. So if you're buying pirated software, you've got a good chance you're going to get this thing. It's a self-defending application, so it installs itself at the root layer. So it's underneath your antivirus, your anti-malware protection. It's evading that. When it downloads, when it installs on your system, it's going down in really small chunks to try to avoid being detected. So it's going to come slowly over time, low and slow, as they say. And it's bad stuff. And gradually, bit by bit, into the system, it's coming in. It's a rootkit, so it's under software. And then its command and control is kind of interesting too. So command and control is going through blockchain, so like something similar to Bitcoin, blockchain ways of communication. So it's really a dangerous bug. The big thing: keep your systems patched, obviously. Make sure you have anti-malware, all the good stuff like that, and just if you're going out, it's the old adage that your parents probably told you. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. If you're getting Photoshop for free on some download, some torrent, you're probably getting something with it. So we'll probably hear more about this Gluptiba malware. It's targeting Windows. It's bad juju. So just watch out for this one. Make sure you're doing the right thing. Speaking of patches, Nvidia is patching a bunch of vulnerabilities in their drivers for both Windows and Mac. It's for the GPU processors as well as the CUDA drivers. Everything from remotely planning malicious code to running local files on the system to just denial of service. Patches are going out across the board for Nvidia. So there's a full list. This is a Bleeping Computer article, again in the show notes. You can go check that out. A bunch of some of the CVE IDs are all the way up to 7.8, which is a really high score. Remember this CVE or the CVSS score only goes up to 10. So based on the CVSS version 3. Without your local factors factored in. And I guess that's a good question. You guys understand how to calculate the CVSS score to include local factors? That may be a course we need to talk about. That's an hour-long block. We can walk through the CVE scores and the CVSS scoring system for both the raw score, which is base score, which we're seeing here, everywhere from 7.8 out of 10 all the way down to 4.4. It looks like a dozen or so different vulnerabilities in Nvidia cards. If you've got these Nvidia cards, you want to run these patches. You want to install the patches and update your system. Let me know if you want to run through the CVSS scoring system to include local scoring variants. And this one falls under the category of, yeah, duh. DHS's warning of ransomware activity targeting remote access software. I love the government. They're doing so many good things for us, but at the same time, this is something they didn't need to. It should have been brought out a long time ago. DHS. Obviously, with COVID-19, people are working from home. Remote access is more critical than ever now. And obviously, remote access is going to be targeted. That's just the way it is. That's the way it is. I don't need that twice. Maybe stop pushing the button, I guess. we of course this. Make sure we look at as in the corporate level, have malware tools on your system. Use the most secure VPN software you can, and that's one of the things. As you know, we got the summer of projects or the year of projects. One of our projects is installing a Ubiquity Unified Dream Machine, or a UDM, and part of that UDM is obviously the VPN client on their VPN connector. That's going to be a good run. So we're going to set up VPN. We're going to set up VPN as many places as we can. And you may wonder, why would we set up a VPN on our home network? And think about all those times you're out at Starbucks, or a coffee place that has open wireless, and it's kind of sketchy to get on those open wireless systems and use them. But if you could get on an open wireless system like that and tunnel through a VPN tunnel back to your home network, that's going to provide a much more secure environment for you, so that you can surf the net safely. So essentially, what you do is, from the coffee shop, you would fire up your laptop with a VPN connector on it, connect back into your home network through a secure tunnel, and all the people would see on that network would be just encrypted tunnel, and then obviously you'd go out to the internet using your home network's protective measures. So a lot of things we can do. It's one of the things we want to do. So make sure you're using the most up-to-date, most secure VPN software available, and maintain your password and password protocols using secure managers. DHS, come on, man. This should have been out a long time ago. Of course, attackers are going to go after remote sessions. That's what everybody's doing. Everybody's going after remote sessions. So, anyways, that's the rundown of the morning news. It is today. It's funny. Funny the days. You always got the weird holidays going on. So today is the last Thursday of the month. Believe it or not, last Thursday of June is designated as National Handshake Day, which is weird in the situation we're in with COVID-19. Obviously, people aren't doing a lot of handshaking right now. What people need to do, now is they're doing the elbow, the elbow rub or the fist bump. Maybe not even the fist bump so much anymore. However you're doing your replacement for handshake, I guess that's what you need to do today. See how long this thing's been around. This holiday was created by Miriam Brody of Brody Professional Development in Jenkinstown, Pennsylvania, back in 2005. Forms of greetings. Nice to see. Handshake Day. That's what today is. In case you're needing a crazy topic to talk about, it is National Handshake Day. So one thing I want to show you, we projects coming up, and picture on your screen is obviously not of Jim's paws. Which picture on the screen? I'm not sure which picture that is, Alex. Let me bring this up on the screen. I'm not sure what picture. Picture on the screen. Oh, national. I'm sorry. It's slow. I'm slow, Alex. It's the national. The National Handshake. Well, I got big beer drinking paws, I guess. Thanks, Alex. I need Alex and Paul here in the morning to keep me going. I think you need to call this the Alex and Paul show. But I'll show you. I've got, and if you've been around a while, if you've been around technology a while, especially, you're going to have a stack of hard drives, right? You got a bunch of them like this. This is a little Western Digital Passport. I think this is like 500 gigabytes or something like that. I got a stack of these over there. I've got old internal hard drives. I've got SD cards. I've got old thumb drives. They're just laying around. You're like, okay, what am I going to do with this? And part of building the network this year is getting that NAS set up. And the NAS I showed you like last week is a 8 terabyte RAID 1. And RAID, if you don't know, that's a redundant array of inexpensive disks, RAID. And all RAID 1 means is that everything is put on, there's 2 disks in a RAID array, in this RAID, a RAID 1 array. There's multiple disks, and whatever's put on one drive is also put on the other drive. It's called, we use them, we mirror the drive. So if one drive fails, it crashes for one reason, all your data's on the other drive. So the NAS device, or network attached storage device we have, is an 8 terabyte device, which means there's a 4 terabyte drive and another 4 terabyte drive. We don't have 8 terabytes of storage, we've got 4 terabytes of storage because it's RAID 1. That means we have two, everything's backed up. So we put 500 gigs on this drive, that means we're going to put 500 gigs on this drive as well. So one of the tools that we picked up is this thing. And I'm going to slide on over to show you. If you look at the box came really from Amazon. Come on, Amazon. But it was all like sliced open, crazy cut. But this is kind of a cool little device if you're in a situation like I'm in. It's got all the associated peripherals and stuff inside the box. But this little device, I don't know if you can see inside there, but it has a bunch of connectors inside there for IDE and SATA drives of different sizes that is powered, power for the IDE, power for the SATA. On the front, it's got a ton, I gotta make sure, it's got a ton of connectors for all kinds of different types of drives. And obviously, we can power this and we can turn it on USB 3.0 into our NAS, and we'll be able to use this to convert all of that pile that we've got, that huge pile. Ready rumbling. Paul's old comment's been up there. So all that old data, we're going to be able to take all those old drives and we're going to be able to convert them over and move them into the NAS. And then when we're done, we can format the drives to get rid of them. And we'll have to talk about how do we get rid of drives too. Because once we copy all the data over, we can't just throw drives away. We have to take care of them, and a mechanical drive with a spinning disk in it has got to be taken care of quite a bit different than a solid state drive, because they're two different technologies. Much harder to erase a solid state drive than an old school mechanical drive. So there's a lot of stuff coming this summer, and it's probably going to stretch all the way into the end of the year. The other thing I want to announce this morning is starting in August, probably mid-August, maybe second or third week in August, we're starting the track for CCSE, the ISC squared cloud certification, the Certified Cloud Security Professional. We're starting that track. Again, like all the other tracks we're doing online, the videos are totally free. You can watch the videos and you can go past the certification. If you pay attention, you probably have to do some reading on the side. That's just because that's the way certifications are. It will eventually, of course, lead into the course that'll be available on Cyber-Recon.com. But you're the first ones hearing it. If you're here this morning, you're hearing in August, second or third week in August, CCSP will be available. We'll start walking through that. And I know we've been a little bit slack this week on Security Plus content. That's because with everything going on, with all the different changes we've got with building the projects, we had to totally redo our production schedule. The production schedule will be available next week. We're going to post it on Cyber-Recon.com so you can go out and see what days we're presenting what topics in each of the tracks. So if you've been around a little while, you'll know that usually we do the Cup of Cyber and then we do a topic after each of those. Of course, we're not going to do that anymore. Those are going to be all pre-recorded sessions that go out during the week. And there's probably going to be 2 or 3 different videos, counting Cup of Cyber, going out each and every day of the week, starting July. Because we still got to finish up IT Fundamentals Plus. I think if you're new to IT, if you're new to this field, that's a great course to go through. Very, very explanatory. Talks about so many things that I didn't think it would cover. It's an inexpensive exam to go take, and it gets you understanding of the baselines of IT. We're going to continue driving on with Security Plus. We're deep into Domain 2 of Security Plus. keep driving that thing forward, and then obviously starting up CCSP, and then before the end of the year, we're going to get C-Risk in from ISACA. We'll start doing the C-Risk courseware. It's just going to be tons of stuff going on, a lot of stuff, but we got to get going. We got to get folks out there. We need more folks into the in the field. We need good people in the field, and there's a lot of people out there. The stuff's expensive. The training is expensive, and that's one of the barriers to entry in this field. Is some places like SANS, they offer exceptional training. I can't say anything bad about their training, but the training even online is $7,000 for a course. It seems so daunting if you look at things like that and getting in the field. So we want more people in the field. We want more qualified people in the field. We want people to know what they're doing. So only way we can do that is folks who've been around a while like me that want the next generation to be experienced and know what they're doing, is to start transferring the knowledge as much as we can. So that's my mission. That's what we're doing here at Cyber-Recon. That's what we're all about, getting that information out to you guys. So if you know someone who wants to get in the field, it'd be great to point them this way. Hopefully we can help them out. That's what we're about. We will be doing some of the courses online to try to keep people employed, because we have Mako, Emily, and Jimmy that work all keeping the videos straight, getting things moving forward, taking care of everything. So they have to get paid somehow. But other than that, just here to try to get more people going forward in the field. It's kind of what Alex does and the folks over at RMF Lifeboat. And all. There's a lot of people in the field that want to share the knowledge. So that's just what we're doing. Hopefully you got something good this morning. Hopefully your day is set up. It is Friday Eve. Well, we got great things going. Mako made a good point to me last night. Make sure you hit that like button, because that helps the logarithm, helps us get more traction, helps us get seen by more people. Obviously, we want you to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when new stuff comes out. It's important for us. Big thing for me is comment. I love to see your comments. Love to see if we're going the right direction, if we're doing what you guys need us to do, and if you're getting something out of it. Let us know where, we need to set up, I think we're going to set up a drop on the webpage as well, so you can drop questions for Trivia Night or ideas for Trivia Night. So that'll be out there hopefully this week. We'll probably put Emily to work on the webpage again. Obviously got to update it again with the new information on the new Trivia Night on the 7th of July. So that being said, I'm Jim with Cyber-Recon. As always, be safe out there, and we'll see you next time. That's tomorrow.